Hi, Cluskey again. Out on the downs, going down this steep hill. Bit of a dangerous hill, so I'll take it very easy. Out on the downs, walking, which I absolutely adore, and it keeps me very fit. 4 minutes on the network deck. What have I got for you this week? Well, last week I did a little bit on publishing companies and starting your own publishing company and what's involved and all the questions that I get asked. And this week I've got another question from exactly the same chap, Keith. He wrote to me and he said, I write the top line and the words for my songs, and then I give them to a guy to put the chords to it. Okay, what is he due as regards a percentage? And I'm often a little bit taken aback by these questions because to me they're so simple and so logical. You see, historically and traditionally, once you write the music, which is the top line, the melody line, and the words, that constitutes the song. Always has been that way. And in the old days, then publishing companies would simply take that, log it, and that is the song, written by Fred Bloggs, or in this case, Keith Bloggs. Now nowadays, you've got situations where there are guys knocking around with computers and bits of home studios, bedroom studios, and writers get involved, and then they think that they have to give them shed loads of money for just putting a bit of stuff on computer or putting a bit of stuff on paper. And in actual fact, nothing could be further from the truth. They're not writing the song at all. They're merely providing an accompaniment or an indication of the accompaniment. Now, there's no hard and fast rules about what they're due, what they're not due. It's simply down to your arrangement with that person. So as I always say, before you switch on the studio lights, before you turn on the music computer, before you sit down with anybody to do anything to do with music, you must have everything on paper first. In other words, the contract. And that can be just a simple contract. I always recommend the manila envelope system, which I've used for donkey's years. I've got hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of manila envelopes. And what I do with that manila envelope, as soon as I get involved with somebody, doesn't matter who it is, then I start a manila envelope and I write all the details on the front. Sometimes I'll even write the studio hours times as well, which is always very interesting at the end of the day. But if I was me and I'd written the melody and I'd written the words, and then I got some guy with a guitar or a computer to come in and put some chords to it, I would definitely write down the date, the song, everything about it, who you're dealing with, and then look him in the eye and agree a percentage, if you want to give him a percentage. Of course, the sensible thing is to just pay him. Pay him 30 quid, pay him $50, $60, whatever you want to pay, whatever's the going rate. And the idea to have in your mind with that is that don't be embarrassed about how little you offer a guy, because even if you offer him $20, that's $20 he's got in his pocket that he didn't have when he walked into your room. Hi. So there's the logic behind the whole thing. If you do decide that the chord structure or whatever the guy does is so important to the song, then you may consider that he's worth dealing in on the writing. And therefore, if you've got your own publishing company, you would issue an assignment contract for the two of you that you would then send off to PRS, and that's you and him entitled to the writing royalties in the percentages that you set out. But again, I would repeat, morally and logically, he's not entitled to a percentage. And I would suggest that you're mad to give him a percentage. And here's another thing as well. It seems silly to me that Keith, a guy like Keith with his experience, doesn't know how to write down simple chord sequences. It'll take you a day with a good piano teacher, a theory teacher, to learn it. Speak to me on the phone, I'll tell you. I'll give you the rudiments, what they call the rudiments of music. I'll point you in the way to good books on it. And it's pig easy to write harmonies, chord symbols to a song. Pig easy. I've been doing it since I was 12. Quite successfully, I think. So there we are. This is Dec, out on my walks again. Dec@makehits.com. You can get in touch with me directly if you want. And it's the Serious Writers Guild. Are you a member? Have you bought How to Make a Million from Your Music? Have you bought my publishing manual? How to start your own publishing company for less than £100? That's more to the point. Okay, see you next week. Bye.